support the NX. Like you said the same thing about the Wii U.
Yeah, I can't trust these lying bastards.
Yeah, because like look at Warner Bros. Now they're so-called on board with the NX. Yeah, we'll see.
I was like,
Really?
yeah. Okay, hold up. Live.
I don't care.
It's fine. You guys can keep on talking. I mean, it doesn't matter. But
It doesn't matter, dude. We're pretty much uncensored anyway.
Yeah, are we?
Look, I want to say let the host introduce us at least and then carry on the conversation.
Oh, he kind of does have a point. Okay,
Well,
go ahead
you
and
know
say
what?
your spiel, dude.
we are live to
There we go.
our viewers out there, or viewer rather. I'll go ahead and introduce my favorite bastards. I
Go on,
have
bitch.
the game idea guy here.
Yes. The man with all of the ideas that the companies need but they don't realize.
You can't keep up with my speed, bitch.
Oh wow!
Sorry.
And go ahead and introduce yourself, Shep.
Hey, I'm on Splatoon. Sorry, I'm wrecking a bunch of noobs. Don't pay me no mind.
All right, and we got Mr. Red Fox.
Yeah, it's me, Mr. Red Fox. You might know me as the guy who started BS Busters, where we take no bullshit lightly.
And last but not least, we got Sprite Remix. Or Wii-Mix, I'm sorry.
Oh, what's going on, you two? Let's get this thing started.
So you don't even know your damn name.
This
Ice
thing,
cream,
dude,
what's up?
Okay. Since I was rudely interrupted by Good Shepherd, this is formerly Neo Player Game, which is now Sprite Remix. So let's get this started and just have a little song here.
And let's hope that this is his last name change. If you
For
hear
real.
outbursts for the viewers out there, forgive me. That is my wife, probably giving someone their ass in Splatoon. I assume she's playing with Shep right now. Oh, damn. Let me go close
It's
this
not-
door real quick.
Basically, what just happened is she was inking, and she got in my way, and I wrecked her, and now she's pissed.
She called you out, bro.
Yeah, she gonna come after you now. 'Cause
Now she-
Yeah, no, this is where I run like a punk. You're right.
Well, hold on. I will say this before we carry on the conversation from earlier. I watched her and Shep play last night, and I gotta say it was pretty evenly matched. But my wife got actually some very, very, I should say, classic kills on Shep, and he did not see that shit coming
Alright.
at all.
Dude, if you get, you know what? No, I'm gonna get along because I don't want you to getting any madder than me.
Well,
What the hell was
anyway,
that?
go ahead and
Someone
carry
was
on with
playing
you guys
Yoshi's Story.
discussing. And I guess you guys are talking about how third parties are now all on board with the NX. And even though Nintendo hasn't said that they're on board with the third parties, but they all seem to be running to jump on a bandwagon that doesn't really exist yet, or no one knows if it's a wagon or a car.
Aisha Tyler, dude.
Oh,
You know,
gosh.
it could just be a skateboard.
Be the coolest
Hell,
skateboard
man.
ever.
That has one broken wheel.
Yeah, here's all I'm going to say about this, especially in regards to Warner Brothers. Let's look at their support for the Wii, and for the Wii U and the 3DS. For the Wii U, they brought Mortal Kombat to every system except for the Wii U. The Mortal Kombat-esque game they did bring was Injustice: Gods Among Us, and that game got out of the 3-4 bits of DLC. It got 1, and the other 3 were just never brought to the system. So that was just that one game. They did a lazy ass Xbox 360 port of their of the Lego games, the DC property Lego games, over to the Wii U. So basically, and I mean, I have a video on my channel of me playing that game, and it basically glitching out and freezing on me while I'm playing it. And I wasn't even in a mission. I was just flying around as Superman, listening to the John Williams tune. So let's see. Arkham City Armored Edition was a really good port. Had a few frame rate issues, but overall was a really good port. Arkham Origins was people who had paid for the season pass to get the Dr. Freeze, like extra content. And this was like a $30, $40, no, it was a $50 season pass people paid for, and like they basically pulled the plug on the season pass because not enough people on the Wii U bought it, and they never got that fucking content. So
that would be me.
When it comes
Bastards.
to Warner Brothers saying we're going to support whatever Nintendo, fuck your support, Warner Brothers. That's how I feel about
They
it.
give all the great support, just like EA did and Ubisoft did.
And 2K with it had Ken Levine up there. Wouldn't it be great if you could play BioShock Infinite on your gamepad? Wouldn't it be great if you didn't lie through your fucking teeth? Douchebag. That's why your damn team got. That's why your damn studio got downsized because you're a prick.
Sort of. Yep.
I'm sorry. Did I get too real for you? I'm sorry. Let me take a step back.
More like salty, but I still agree with you.
Yeah, Warner Brothers. Yeah. If what Warner Brothers if that half-assed amateur hour bullshit they put on the Wii U is considered full support, aside from one or two games, and you know what? I'd rather just not have you on the system. I'm sorry. I know as a business that's not good because you want to have diversity, but as a gamer, I don't want sloppy seconds, or actually in this case sloppy thirds, really, because that's
sloppy.
Sloppy thirds.
Sloppy thirds.
That's what she said. That's what she said.
That's why we had a drop out.
It'd be well beyond that. Word
Are
for it.
you on your cell phone, Dre?
Is it cutting out?
Yeah.
Kind of.
You're getting distorted.
Sound like the Charlie Brown teacher. Wah, 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 wah.
No, man, like he's a correspondent calling from Iraq in 1994 behind enemy lines.
Well,
Okay, I'll come back. That's who wants to be a butt.
as usual, Google.
But yeah, Warner Brothers is terrible, and
I wouldn't trust them.
What I don't get and what I don't like is that these are the same companies that after they made a promise to support the Wii U and Nintendo, and within months completely cut that support. So much so, I'm pretty sure there were contracts involved that they probably broke and paid a penalty for. And on top of that, they began lying about why they're not going to support and or port their games over to the console. Some
Which is
still
beyond
buy
bad business. It makes no sense. This is
So
some
it's like,
college,
okay,
high school shit.
You're ready to support a console that you know ass about. Like, you can't say you even have a single spec. You know nothing. All you know is the NX is something that's going to come out early next year. But you don't even know, what it really is. It could be a software patch. It could be a damn dongle for the Wii U. We don't know what it is. But you're already pledging your support, or at least pretending to. But it's funny. It's like, okay, so you can do that, and this system comes out early next year. Let's say it does launch in March, whatever it is. But you can't support the outgoing system right now at
You have the
all.
audacity to encroach upon my territory.
Not
They
even
got
with the
going
decent
down.
port. So let's say, for example, Arkham Knight. I would like a decent port of that game. I really would like a decent port of it. Not a half-ass one, but a decent port. There are other games out there I would like ported to the Wii U.
Get off my
Honestly,
turf.
would. You know what? Hey, I would like to get Persona 5 that's coming to the PS3 and PS4. I would like to get Final Fantasy 15 if I could. I would like those ports to the Wii U. But you want to sit up here and say, well, you know what? We look forward to supporting the NX. Really? So you look forward to supporting an idea? Basically, that's all it is right now. It's a concept.
They want to fool us like what they did when the Wii U was coming out.
But I mean, let's not forget all these every time Nintendo comes out with a console, they all lie and say we're going to support their console. The last console that Nintendo had really good third-party support on was the SNES, And that's because they basically Yamauchi had Nintendo had a lot of third parties by the short and curlies, and Yamauchi wasn't afraid to squeeze hard sometimes.
Would you say? I mean, you could say the GameCube though. It had some decent third party support at least. It didn't have Grand Theft Auto, but it did.
How many GameCube exclusives were they would break the contract and port it over to the PS2? And in some cases, the Xbox, the original. Well, I'm calling it. Fuck it. The original Xbox One.
Yeah, that happened with Resident Evil 4.
Devil May Cry was originally supposed to be on the GameCube. Okami was originally supposed to be on the GameCube, and they were ported over to the PS2. And it's ported over to the PS2.
Yeah, Yamauchi had that Jedi mind pressure on third parties back then.
And then they purposely acted ignorant regardless of the success. They just wanted to be ignorant. They're like, I want revenge on Nintendo, so I'm going to screw them over, even if it costs us money.
And it did cost them money, because they put Okami on the PS2, and it bombed.
There's so many games that would have excelled on a Nintendo console that do not come out on a Nintendo console. And I'm like Sunset Overdrive is another good example. That's a recent game. It's really good. They put it on a console where people aren't interested in those type of games usually.
But just like for example, this may not be a major game, but Odin Sphere. I would love for that to be on the Wii U. I would love that game to be on the Wii U. I can't even lie about that. Sunset Overdrive. Would love that on the Wii U.
I prefer that on the PS4 and the Vita actually, but it would be great on the Wii U as well. Just want to clarify Odin Sphere. I mean.
And I'll even go so far as to say this, and you guys may actually, kick my ass for saying this, but I can be serious about this. I would be satisfied if they at least ported the full game without any unique gamepad benefits. Give me the full game at least. Can I at least get the full game you gave to Microsoft and Sony? Can I get that at least?
No,
you're asking.
You can't.
Too much, dude.
You're asking too goddamn much, 3D gamer.
God, Shep.
you want DLC functionality? Pay an extra $30 and we'll patch in a mediocre map on your gamepad.
And for those of you who will pop up and say, well, what about Deus Ex Human Revolution? That game was an excellent use of the Wii U's
they cornered me.
Features. Let me tell you something, okay? You do not port a 3-year-old game to a system and charge people $50 for it, even with the additional functionality. You don't do that.
And you know what?
That's the features.
But see, you know what? The worst slap in the face to me regarding the Wii U was with Mass Effect 3. You dropped that game on the Wii U, and then at the same time, before it was released on the Wii U, they dropped the trilogy collection on the other consoles, and they did that for I think it was $50 for all three.
30.
$30 for all three games.
Sorry. It was $40, and you got all three. You got all 3 games. The first 2 games with all the DLC.
And yet you charge $60 for just Mass Effect 3 on Wii U alone,
with no DLC except for that changing the ending.
Meanwhile, I'm just over here mad that Rayman Legends got delayed.
No, that was the point when they delayed Rayman Legends, because it was supposed to come out February 7th. Or no, it was February 13th, February 12th.
I waited to get that game from when it was $12. I'm glad I did.
I got it for $9.
I love my swim speed.
I got mine for $28 or $30 right the day it launched. So I didn't even pay full price.
That game, they delayed that game. But I mean, all the shit that Ubisoft has basically put on the Wii U, aside from Rayman Legends, has always been kind of yeah, this is a game we're putting on the system, but we have no faith in this system. And okay, Watch Dogs half-assed.
Watch Dogs to the point. What piece about Watch Dogs that game had a stealth release? They didn't even talk about it. They didn't even review the Wii U version until 2-3 months later.
Man,
when the Wii U version released, there was no article, no news, no nothing covered that shit. It's just the game released, and that was that. Not even a single commercial.
Mm.
I
And
think
people wonder
Nintendo
why.
had a big ass like picture of it on the eShop, like when you open it up and it would show like new releases and it would have Watch Dogs picture, but that was it. But Ubisoft did no advertising for that game, none.
Yep. And then they
But
acted surprised when it didn't sell. They were like, "We can't believe this game didn't sell well on the system."
No, they left it out to die on purpose, and they just did that to think they could fool people.
Man, oh man.
and what about this something more positive but unbelievable? These Persona 5, I mean not Persona 5, Persona
Persona
Emblem.
Emblem.
Magical
Persona
Persona
Emblem.
Magic crossover emblem Tuxedo Mask Edition.
It's a Persona game. I mean, like Atlas. Okay, let me put it this way: Atlas is one of the few third. Atlas is one of the few third-party.
You sure you could concentrate, dual class, and play Splatoon with me? Okay.
Atlas is one of the few third parties that that consistently deliver high quality no matter what platform it is. Like during the Wii generation, we didn't get Persona games on the Wii, but we got those excellent ports of the Trauma Center games. Those games are fucking awesome, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Natsume, they tend to be. Natsume, they're very small, but I mean, they haven't really screwed up for as long as I know, anyway.
Well, we aren't getting Wild Guns Reloaded, bastards. But that's okay. But anyway.
I'm just glad that game uses sprites. That's all I'm happy for.
Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, it uses sprites. I'm getting this game if it comes to PC. I'm not buying a PS4 for it, though.
I wouldn't be surprised if that
Sprite,
game. Why isn't that game coming out for PS3?
Because Sony probably paid for it to come to exclusively to the PS4. Probably the only reason it's being made is because they paid for it.
Bastard. Sorry. I be getting all up in this Splatoon. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah, I've noticed.
At least I ain't playing
You can't be
Mario
saying
Maker.
shit to nobody about getting into games, Mr. Mario Crackmaker.
Hey, I'm not
That's
even playing.
exactly
I'm not,
what I was
I'm
about
not
to
even
say.
playing Mario. I'm playing Sonic.
No.
Why?
What we're saying is, even though I'm all up in Splatoon, I'm keeping up with the conversation. When you be playing that Mario Maker, you have no idea what we're talking about.
You start singing the
hey,
songs and shit. It's ridiculous.
Hey, Brownie, you think I'm lying, huh? Hang on a second.
No, I don't need to.
We don't care.
Need
We trust you. We just don't care.
We don't care. Play what you play, dude.
Anyway, Persona Emblem. It's gonna take my summer.
I called it. I still call it.
Until Federation Force comes out, because they showed a Japanese trailer for that game and the main
Looks
campaign.
fucking awesome, yeah, I
It
know.
looks awesome, but
Yeah.
right now, Persona Emblem is gonna take my whole summer.
Well, I mean, between that, Federation Force, and Paper Mario, Nintendo's just taking on. Oh, and Pokemon.
Don't give me amiibos and F you, Nintendo. Keep stealing my damn money before I could even get it.
You know what's
That's
funny?
just one damn console.
You know what's funny? I
Do not-
wasn't gonna get
Go ahead.
Monster Hunter Generations, but then they showed one trailer of one crossover, and I was like,
What,
damn it.
Strider?
yeah,
Started here.
yep, I'm not gonna get a day one, but damn it, now it's floating in.
It's just another forgotten Capcom IP.
That they've done. Well, they gave the people who made that shitty.
Double Helix.
You mean,
Yeah.
God.
They gave Double Helix. It was a Metroidvania game, which I mean, it's not terrible. I have it. It's not terrible. It's not good either, but it's not terrible.
So yeah, it looks awesome, but damn, I forgot what he was talking about now.
I don't know. I heard somebody was playing Yoshi earlier, and I didn't know what it was.
We were talking about Persona Emblem.
Yeah.
I think-
We're talking about how it got much better reviews than we expected, considering one, it's a Nintendo exclusive. 2, it's a
And
niche
2 is controversial
JRPG.
because of the
And then
the damn,
exactly, it's heavily
censorship.
quote unquote censored, so you figured that'd be another hit. After all those negatives, you figured it'd get like a 6 or a 5.5.
Yeah.
It is getting like 8s and 9s across the board.
Oh, you talking about the magical girl? I call it magical girl because that's what it reminds me of. That kind of anime that you see sometimes on TV.
I mean, they've been using the same.
No, Asterix. It reminds me of that Asterix anime. I forgot the damn name right now.
They've been using the same damn.
I ain't evil by Moonlight. Oops, wrong game.
No, they've been using the same engine for the last like since the 6th gen. They've been using the same engine, so they know how to make the shit look good.
Yeah. Like, yeah,
So
I'll get that game down the road. I just got too much to play right now.
yeah, we know.
Guys, there's no good games out. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I forgot there's a drought because it's not a first-person shooter, so it doesn't count.
But hey,
Mine's coming tomorrow at between 12 and 4. So.
yeah, I'm getting my tomorrow, so I'm gonna have the wife pick it up.
Mine's getting delivered, dude.
What do you guys think about these recent opinions of Reggie's comments about Nintendo, not being about specs, but more about the content, and it must be a bad thing.
That's honestly nothing new, but these idiots haven't figured that out yet.
I loved every second of it.
But Liga, shout out to him. He said it best. He said this generation people start showing their true colors more and more. He's right. Like, what happens to these so-called fans? Oh, I'm a Nintendo fan, but then they come out with something like this that Reggie said, you crying the blues. Nintendo's never been about power except the N64 and GameCube.
Well, all I'm going to say...
It's always been about... Oh, go ahead.
Efficiency. But that's a dirty word, though.
Well, all I'm going to say...
No, not as dirty as fun.
All I'm going to say is this. Okay. You think power is going to make gaming better. Okay, the Xbox One and the PS4 are two of the quote-unquote most powerful consoles of the 8th gen. They're basically the same damn console aside from a few exclusives and a few features. But guess what? Within 3 years, they've already announced their successors.
And this is supposed to be 10-year-old console, supposedly.
Yeah, so if power is so important, and here's the thing, the games coming out of these consoles, you could have done this shit on the Xbox 360 and the PS3. None of these games are really like, oh, this couldn't have been done on anything but these consoles.
Yeah, that was a Forbes article, and it was kind of basically the guy was like,
Did you say Forbes?
Yeah, I know, I'm terrible. But no,
Alright, continue.
Anyway, he was basically like, power's not everything because basically this whole power thing is one of the reasons why so many studios has closed in recent years.
I believe I'm probably paraphrasing a little bit, but there's a part where the guy's like, 80% of the studios we grew up with have gone under.
Yep.
80% trying to get into this power race. Oh man, look at these graphics. Look at these graphics. Yeah, you're right. I mean, these people only had to go broke making this game, but yeah, look at those graphics.
So how do you say it? Forbes?
Yep, Forbes.
Okay,
No, you said Forbes.
Yeah,
You said Forbes.
Okay, I was gonna say
Like ZBs.
No, you didn't say it wrong. But I didn't know either.
No. Yeah, I used to get the name wrong too, Ray. I used to say I always thought it was Planet
Okay,
Z,
wait.
but it's Planet
Okay,
Z.
let me save you. How about this? I'm gonna tell you my screw up. For the longest time, I used to say infamous. There you go. To make you feel a little bit better, I used to say infamous.
Thank you. But yeah, like I said, for the longest time I thought it was Planet Zebes, but no, it's Planet Zebus. I found that out through other,
Yeah.
Now we can just figure out how to pronounce that dude's name from Skyward Sword. Is it Gerahin? I'm like, what?
Girahim.
Girahim, yeah.
You can say Lord Fabulous. Lord Fabulous works really well.
And if we can just figure out how to pronounce, next gen, I guess it means NX. According to these developers.
Apparently,
next gen,
apparently it's a subliminal message. The letters N and X. So.
next gen means actually you have to say graphics and whatever stupid ass shit that you want to push on people. Man, VR, it's totally next gen. Yeah, sit your ass down.
Have that seat.
You guys keep talking like you don't know what the damn system is. Don't you know that it's currently the most powerful system comparable to the PS4 Neo? Didn't you know that?
We don't know the specs of the PS4 Neo, so.
The
Damn
Xbox
it.
Scorpio is going to be the most
Too slow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Says-
you know he's right. Yo, you can't compare 6 titty flops. Come on,
I
dude.
mean, I guess Microsoft is getting ready to lose a ton more money trying to support another powerful console because it works so great with the Xbox One.
Have they yet to make a profit? That's not even me being facetious. I'm seriously asking because
The only time the Xbox division made a profit was one day where they weren't losing money, and that was the day Halo 2 dropped on 360. Since then, they have never turned a profit, ever. And we all know what happened to Sony with the PS3, so.
Yep.
yeah.
But they're okay, because, you know, it's Sony. They can't do no wrong, right?
Sony is fine.
Yeah, like
Just
that
flip
dog
it.
in the fire, in the house is fire.
Like, I've never seen such airheaded people in my life. Like, you see what's going on, but you still think everything is okay?
All these studios have gone out of business. But no, they're fine.
How'd he get me?
The industry is fine. That's the quote of the year, ladies and gentlemen.
It's always fine, remember? Because it's not Nintendo. Nintendo's doomed. They're totally going out of business. It's clear.
They're going out of business tomorrow.
Tomorrow, I like that.
Yep, they're going out of business tomorrow because of reasons. I don't need to tell you why. They're just going out of business tomorrow.
They're going out of business because they're not making business with third party. That's what it is. They want to keep all the profit. They want to keep all the profit to themselves. They don't want to pay off the third party, so that's why they're going to fail.
They don't want to open up their wallet and just give their money.
In real business, you got to kiss butt.
Well, I mean, I guess
Nintendo's not kissing enough butt.
Yeah, they're like, look, listen, we're unlike Sony and Microsoft, we will not bend over this desk and let you guys have your way with us. Thank you very much. Like Nintendo's like, we will not be violated.
Oh, wow.
So you people who love Sony and Microsoft so much and love your third-party games, think about it. Every time you see, this is going to be a Xbox exclusive, this is going to be a Sony exclusive. Sony and Microsoft essentially had to bend over and get violated to get those exclusives.
Yep, that is so true. And you know what? I don't wish for any of these companies to go out of business because competition is necessary. You know, it breeds innovation in a sense. It really
Unless
does.
it's Square Enix. I mean, go ahead.
Honestly, at this point, I kind of want one of them to go out of business just to kind of shake things up and have them replaced. The problem is there's no company powerful enough other than maybe Apple that could do it. Problem is Apple will not be able to do it.
Well,
they did it a while back.
The Pippin, so.
They failed miserably back then.
They did if Apple hadn't done the Pippin, I'd be like, well, maybe they could do something. But the Pippin, I'm like,
No. They're the only ones who have the potential financially, but they do not have the capabilities because they just suck at doing it.
Say if only y'all did not fuck up. I wish they were still doing hardware. Like honestly.
Well, Sega had been effing up for like after the Sega Genesis, Sega started fucking up. Like
you know what could work, but it won't happen. If Apple team up with Sega and have them reborn.
Yeah, but they already got in bed with Microsoft, and Microsoft fucked them over. So.
No, I'm just saying. I said if they actually tried and it worked,
One can
we
dream.
would have. But that's a dream.
Yeah.
I have a dream that one day Sega shall come back full force.
No, it's more like this
No,
dream.
no,
Dream.
it would be a nightmare, unfortunately, because if they do try, it's probably going to be a pure failure. Let's be real about this.
I don't think it would. I don't think it could fail. It's just the thing is, Sega doesn't have the infrastructure to support a console anymore, and Apple, I mean, they can barely control their iStore. So, I mean, I could just imagine what they'd try and do with.
I'm aware. Just give me 1 more minute. Sorry.
Well, just imagine what they'd do with a console. I don't think they could do it, but you know. You never know. Sega might get their shit together. Maybe.
Probably not. It would be
Probably
cool if
not.
they did, but it's not going to happen. Once again, we're just dreaming here, guys.
Way 4 has more chances than Sega.
Damn.
Actually, if Ouya hadn't just effed up so badly, they might have done something cool.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. Let's see. Who's a promising, hardworking studio that if they teamed up with a powerful conglomerate, they could create a system? Platinum, no. Something that could do multiple genres really well.
EA, Activision.
Oh, no.
No. They put it this way.
They doing the Crash Bandicoot trilogy reboot. Oh my god!
Look,
the reboot can kiss my ass.
Activision doesn't even want to Activision doesn't even want to put money into their own stuff, much less because here's the thing: it takes billions of dollars to get a console off the ground, and then you have to support it.
Well, unless you're the Ouya.
Oh damn!
Yeah, unless you're the
To
Ouya.
successfully create a console that will be a success, will cost several billions easily.
Yeah, and
Not
the
a
Ouya
billion,
was.
several billion.
Let me put it this way: had the Ouya come out in another 10 years, when the technology's at the point where you'd be able to do decent gaming on a on an Android OS, it probably could have worked. But because they tried to force it, they tried to force a square peg through a round hole, and they didn't have the technology to do it.
And the proper amount of lubricant.
Oh god!
Well, a square peg through a round hole, not even lube will help you out. You destroy that hole before you get it through.
My god, y'all!
No, you're the one having dirty thoughts. If you've ever been to kindergarten and you would see they'd have those little games where you'd put the pegs through the correct hole. So you'd have like a triangle peg through the triangle hole, the square peg through the square hole. Well, you always had that one kid who you knew wasn't going to be in the same classes as you once you went to public school, and he tried to fit a square peg through a round hole, and it was never going to fit. And that was what happened to the
Voila?
the Ouya. No, the Ouya. That's what happened to the Ouya.
My thing is, I just the whole people getting hyped because Crash Bandicoot trilogy reminds. I'm like Sony's like, oh man, this is gonna be exclusive. How is it exclusive when you have to pay half the cut to Activision?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Whenever, I mean, I've said this before. Whenever
Crazy deals that these people be doing.
whenever you see those little special things where they're like, this is exclusive and this is a little special. Look, listen, Sony bent over and let those people have their way with it.
It's just as bad as the whole Shenmue 3 thing.
Well, I mean, at least because Shenmue, at least they didn't have Activision come up there and say, we're gonna have a Kickstarter. We're gonna bring back Crash Bandicoot.
But they have no. But
I wish they
Sony
did
don't have
that.
no other no. But it's funny how Sony has no other problems. Money hadn't. But when it came to the Shenmue Yu Suzuki, oh nope, gotta do Kickstarter.
Well, I mean, let's keep it real. The only way that Shenmue could actually be made is you'd have to spend $100 to $50 to $200 million to get that game made the way it needs to be made, and no one's spending that type of money on it. I'm sorry. I know some people might get mad, but I don't care. And I'm saying this as someone who has both Shenmue games for my Dreamcast. That's just not going to happen.
Those games broke Sega.
Yeah, they did. Well, that and all the stupid shit they did for years leading up to it.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand why people get so hyped when something gets remastered or redone when there's no even had the original team. Like the whole Final Fantasy VII thing. I ain't the original team doing it. Square Enix.
And I don't trust Square Enix of Europe to tie their shoes.
I just don't understand.
Don't try to. I mean.
It's gonna make my brain hurt.
Save some IQs. I mean, some brain cells.
You're hurting my brain. Oh man, Ty the Tasmanian Tiger 4. I'm not getting that game. I had those games on GameCube, and I'm not getting them again.
Oh, well,
Who's playing Yoshi's Island?
I don't think anybody is.
I heard the music.
Well, for Yoshi's Island?
Yeah, Yoshi's Island. You know the map music that gets instrumentation the more worlds you clear.
Anyone play any really good games? Like something that you were like, I can't believe this game got made and it's so awesome.
Xenoblade!
Wait, so Yoshi's Island is not good?
What?
You want to know why I have a vendetta against Yoshi's Island? Because I was one of those people who, like, Nintendo lied to us. No, who lied to us and said that it was the sequel to Super Mario World, and it's not. It's not the sequel to Super Mario World. Those lying bastards.
Yeah,
it's a good game, but it ain't the sequel.
Yeah,
to
it was
Super
a good
Mario
hustle.
World.
Yeah, they did that too.
Well, hey, I got something that's going to make you guys a little bit excited and actually very riled up. You ready for this?
Okay, go.
There was a Google Plus post that I forget. I know it's about Breath of the Wild. I do know that. This person was basically, he claims to be a Zelda fan.
Mm-hmm.
Keyword claims. He claims he's a hardcore Zelda fan.
Oh shit!
Oh no!
And we had a little back and forth. I mean, I didn't, you know me. I'm not disrespectful. I didn't even troll a guy. But this guy actually said, am I the only true Zelda fan that's not delusional about Breath of the Wild? Because Horizon Zero Dawn looks a hell of a lot better. And
Wait, stop. Wait, stop. Who said
I
what?
can't wait for both of you bastards now.
Keyword
Holy.
it looks.
No.
Who said that? And
I don't even
why?
know my
What?
ears now.
You said it. I'm looking at the context of the statement. Now,
The context is pure BS. I just want to know what the idiot that said it.
He actually thinks that Horizon Zero Dawn looks like a better game. Not better graphics. He's saying it looks to be a better game.
okay, now,
Oh god.
All right, let me go
I
to the fridge real quick. I'll be right back.
I will give them this. Horizon actually looks like it's a great game. There's a lot of potential there. But to compare it and say it's better than Breath of Wild? Wow.
Okay.
like if you looked at all the stuff you can actually do in the new Zelda game, I'm sorry, Horizon has even on the cusp of half of that shit.
Okay.
Exactly. And you want to know something funny? This is Nintendo, so they ain't show us all of it at all. There's stuff they've omitted specifically to not spoil the game. So for them to show us that sheer amount of content and still don't show us everything? Come on, dude.
Okay, let me put it this way. Guerrilla Games, they're the people who for the longest time made Killzone. A mediocre to okay shooter that was supposed to compete against Halo. Never, ever competed and beat Halo at anything. like nothing. Maybe Halo 5, but Halo 5
you have to keep in
sucks.
mind they were competing against Microsoft, not competing against Nintendo.
Yeah, okay.
Nintendo sucks. They're out of touch now.
So now Guerrilla Games is making an open world adventure RPG type game. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, that's awesome. This is their first open world adventure RPG style game. That's nice. Now, I'm going to put Guerrilla Games, which has been around for what? I think 15 years? No, like 10, 11 years, against people who've been making games for over 30. And all of the games in the Zelda series, mainline series, have knocked it out of the damn park. All of them. Against people who made mediocre to okay games. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
It makes no sense. That's why I was like, what?
Here's my argument. Here's one thing I did mention on this post. I said, dude, you cannot tell me that Horizon Zero Dawn looks to be a better game than Zelda. I say, I will admit the game does look cool. I definitely want to own it. I say, but there ain't no way that world is bigger than Zelda. And on top of that, I say, if you really, really want to think about it, even the president of your beloved company said, and his ass lined up and wanted to play Zelda, even he had to give it points. He tried to throw shade afterwards, someone talking about it looks similar to Horizon. No, it's not. The only thing
he
that
had to because he would get in trouble if he gave too much praise.
Arrows in a while, and you got a bow. That's where the similarities stop.
Mm-hmm. We need more people like that. I mean, get excited for other clothes.
And see, what's getting to me is that, don't get me wrong, I'm looking forward to Horizon Zero Dawn. I hope the game is all that I'm thinking it is. But to me, it still looks like it's mostly just an open world shooter. Zelda looks like it's going to actually be an open world action RPG in a sense. This game, Horizon, looks like it's going to be like this open world shooter, kind of like Recore in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be more melee than that, but yeah.
So I mean,
not to say that it's not gonna be bad, that it's not gonna be good, or that it will be bad. But I'm just saying, looking at it from an objective point of view, a studio that has been producing games that have gotten 90s or higher for 30 plus years, versus someone who's been making mediocre games for like 7 or 8. No, like 9 or 10, and only recently came out with something halfway decent. Really? Seriously? I mean, that's like putting a green belt up against a black belt. I mean, yeah, the fundamentals may be the same, but one is totally gonna get his ass whooped by the other, and 9 times out of 10, it ain't gonna be the black belt.
People just want to spark hate because they know Zelda is greatness. That is all.
I think some people are legitimately just delusional at this point.
Yeah. Well, it seems like the demo for Zelda turned out better than Last Guardian because apparently the controls wouldn't work and it just had graphical glitches. I'm like, this game comes out in October.
Well, you know that game is just a shitty port from the PS3 build up to the PS4, right?
I thought
they're just doing it. They're just doing it to say that they finally did the game. That's all that is.
Yeah, this game is gonna be good forever, son.
Yeah, they are trying to save face. That's all it is.
Well, I'm gonna quote Miyamoto on this.
They're doing a poor job.
A bad game delayed can eventually become good, but a bad game that comes out is bad forever.
Unless it's Mighty Number 9.
Yep.
Hey man, that game's not that bad.
I just couldn't understand. Like, okay, don't get me wrong.
The game gets too much shade because of what Inafune did. The game itself is not bad. Yeah, it's not great. It should be great.
Divorce yourself from Inafune and just look at it as a standard Mega Man inspired platformer, and it's fine. It's fine indeed.
Yeah, I believe you.
If you were gonna get it, I would wait until it was on sale though. Don't pay $25 for it.
No, don't pay. Do not pay full price for the game. Do not.
I'm gonna get used.
This coming from somebody who supported the damn game. Do not pay full price for this game.
Yeah, I got it for 15, so I can't get too mad.
Well, that's nice.
But yeah,
Well, hey, it's better than nothing.
you guys just keep on listen.
The troll is strong within you, young man.
No. You know what they reminded me of? Even though I know it's a misquote or translation, it reminded me when this. Remember that big ass like blowback from the Xbox One, like before it launched, and the guy came out and said, if you want to play 360's game and buy some 360, just deal with it. And his ass got fired.
No, Don Matcher didn't say that. I memorized this quote. Jeff Keighley asked him. He said, "Look, what for the people who say they don't have online and they don't always want to be connected online or they have bad internet, and they want to." He's like, "Well, we have a device for people like that. It's called the Xbox 360."
Oh God.
I have to give him props. He said it so smoothly with no hesitation. I was like, wow. This dude has titanium gonads.
Yeah, and he didn't know he got that in Jeff face, and Jeff Keighley must have given him a look like, man, do you know what you just said? And then he tried to walk back. He's like, well, we've got people on submarines. I'm like, what the hell does that have to do with what you just said?
I'm sorry though, man, but I just think it's kind of funny because I mean we all and us here we don't jump at translations and articles like most people do, but we were all like, did you really say this in a full day? Because if you did, like, you got some balls taking our money and saying this shit.
Well, he also said, and this was more of a direct quote. He also a direct translation. He also said that look, listen, all the issues with this game, I own it. It's on me. And you know what? I'm gonna keep it real. Having played Mighty Number 9, I'm gonna pimp out my own review that's coming out tomorrow at 6. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The game is not that bad. Look, listen, to tell you the truth, the game is not perfect. It has issues. But I would actually like to see a sequel to Mighty Number 9 and see how they could refine the game because there's some really good stuff in there.
You're the second person I'm hearing that from.
My big brother's a huge Mega Man fan, and he got the game, and he gives a full stamp of approval. He's like, this game is great. It pisses me off because it really does feel like a Mega Man game, and the original Mega Man games are kind of unforgiving.
It feels like if Mega Man and if the Mega Man games and the Mega Man X games had a baby, and that baby was hit in the head a few times and had to wear a special helmet. That would be Mighty Number 9.
Seriously.
That would be Mighty Number 9. Because if you try and play this game like a standard Mega Man or Mega Man X game, you're gonna die a lot. But
yes.
if you take what you learn from those games and realize it's kind of like that, but it also has its own unique thing, then you'll do fine. And plus, once you get the cryosphere ability, the game gets a lot easier. It's like, this snap.
So basically,
well, Andre, did you get the game? Did you get my number 9? Andre? I guess he's out of commission.
Letters.
So Red, basically what you're saying is, since you say you want a sequel to Mighty Number 9, basically you compare Mighty Number 9 to that of the first Mega Man game, and then when 2 came out, it was much better than Mega Man 1.
Well, I won't go that far. I would say that normally the cool thing about established franchises is that over time, the formula to make them gets refined and the gameplay gets better. Like, I know everyone's like, man, I love the original Mario. But wasn't the franchise so much better by 3 Super Mario World?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it had time to get better. I really do think that they could make Mighty Number 9 into a friggin' awesome game.
The potential is strong in this game, real talk. I haven't gotten into it as much as I'd like to. Maybe I'll get into it this weekend after Splatfest.
Well, let me ask you guys for a fair, comparison. What do you think is better? Mighty Number 9 or Azure Striker Gunvolt?
Gunvolt.
Gunvolt.
Gunvolt, hands down.
Yay.
Gunvolt. Gunvolt. Gunvolt feels like Mega Man X, which in my opinion was the stronger Mega Man franchise because it has wall jump. But like Mighty Number 9 has, like if Mighty Number 9 added a wall jump, it would be perfect.
That's what I noticed.
It's almost like the storyline of Mighty Number 9 took place between Mega Man and Mega Man X.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's 100% accurate, but that's the general feel. Yeah. Okay. Once again, this is coming from a guy who barely put in a half an hour into it. So.
Yeah, the game, when you first start playing it, like, you have to get used to how it goes, how it moves, how it feels. But once you get used to it, it clicks. The game is not bad. I mean, everyone's like, man, Inafune did this. Look, I'm not pardoning Inafune. Okay, I'm not.
To give a game props regardless.
The shady stuff that happened with KG and with Concept and that Kickstarter, you know, that kind of, like, KG Inafune's credibility is shot to hell. But
yes,
as far as the game itself is not bad. I mean, is it as good as, say, you know? I mean, if you compare it to another Kickstarter game that was incredibly well funded on Kickstarter and met all its stretch goals, Shovel Knight, it's not as good as Shovel Knight. I would say it's a tier below Shovel Knight, but it's overall a pretty good game.
Well, I would say this. Now, let me go ahead and say that I did not fund Mighty Number 9. I don't do Kickstarters. The one I did want to do, I actually missed out on because they made their goal in, like, I think half an hour or some shit. Ukulele. But I will say this. I give KG Inafune credit for one thing. Unlike most of the Kickstarters that we have been interested in and wanted to fund or probably have funded over the last couple of years, at least he actually delivered his damn product. More than I can say for the Wii U fans that funded Project Cars, and they were the main ones that funded it and never even got a damn game. It just got the Wii U version got completely canned, but guess what? There's a PS4 and Xbox
salt,
One,
rub,
PC.
the vinegar, the more salt.
Just saying.
So continue.
But when you guys agree, at least he did deliver product. Because I know a lot of Kickstarters out there right now that, like, people that pledged money for a specific platform because they said they were going to make one for that platform, they got canceled. And even outside of Kickstarter, didn't they promise us a version of Mortal Kombat 10 on the last-gen consoles and they scrapped them?
Yeah, they did.
At the last minute?
I'm going to keep it real. I know everyone's always like, man, they fail. All the Kickstarters I've supported did well. Mighty Number 9, Ukulele. I did not give money to, or not Mighty Number 9. Shovel Knight.
I was going to say,
I did Shovel Knight and Shadowrun and Ukulele, and I mean they did pretty well for themselves. So I mean, I'm not saying they don't deliver. I'm saying that you basically have to make a judgment call and look at the pedigree of the people making it. Ukulele, I'm like, this is basically the Rare I grew up with, so I trust them. I mean, with Shadowrun, the guy said, look, I know we messed up when we made that shitty the original Xbox Shadowrun first-person shooter ever always online bullshit. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. We want to go back to the roots. Okay, cool. I gave him money. And Shovel Knight, I was like, this looks like a game I'd want to play. Shovel Knight was the most risky investment I made, but I mean, it was worth it. Because Shovel Knight's a really good game. That game is off the charts.
Agreed.
We're getting like 2 or 3 more characters.
The only Kickstarter I ever paid for was this debacle.
What, Mighty Number 9?
Yeah. I better get all my goodies too, because they promised me a whole bunch of crap. So far, all I've gotten is one T-shirt.
Oh.
And the T-shirt looked like it was cheaply made. Like I could have done better on my own.
Yeah, with Mighty Number 9, a lot of the stuff that was done just made me feel kind of, a lot of the stuff that was done with Mighty Number 9 made me feel like they
snuck into my house in the middle of the night and did stuff to me in my sleep. That's what Uniform did.
Well, I mean, it feels like they took some of the money and did some
I want retribution. I've been violated.
The biggest problem with Mighty Number 9 is that there was focus on making it a franchise rather than just making the game.
Yeah, that's true. Chef, I'm surprised you didn't help fund ukulele. You could at least did $5 like I did.
It was fully funded before I even knew it existed, dude.
Oh, really? No, honestly, when I heard about ukulele, I mean, when they first announced it, I was like, yeah, damn, like, as soon as I get home, I'm going to go ahead and do it. And literally, like, 10 minutes later, they said, oh, yeah, we made our goal. I said, what? Hold on, what?
Yeah, I was at a same job as Dr. Feelgood. I was at work. I was like, all right, cool, I'm going to have to do something later. Before I even left work, it was funded, fully funded. I was like, what?
But even when I went there, it was fully funded, but they still had it open. And I still said, you know what? I'm going to give you guys some extra money. Here's 15. No, here's 25. Boom.
See, that's what I should have done, but I just figured it's fully funded. I'll just buy it when it comes out.
Yeah, I was like, there. So I'm going to get that game for free. Well, actually, I'm not going to get it for free. Since I helped pay for the damn thing, I'm going to get the game in remuneration. And it's going to be totally worth it because I mean this game is being made by the Rare we grew up with. This is the Rare that Microsoft wishes they had, but they ran off with their bullshit. So,
well,
okay,
I already had those games, Triple M.
Well, let me pose a question to all you guys, and maybe this is Liger's department since he's worked in gaming. Maybe you guys know, I'm not sure, but we all have our personal IPs, which we think that companies at various, publishers are sitting on, not doing shit with them. And we all have IPs that publishers are sitting on, or they're making games for them, and they're not making worthwhile games. We all have our picks.
Just
here's my thing. Now I know a lot of companies from back in the old days have been assimilated, or they go out of business, or whatever the case may be, bought out. I don't know. Is it at all possible that these, IP ownerships will eventually expire, kind of like movie rights if you don't make a product, for the IP by a certain time? Because to me, like for example, Earthworm Jim, I like their franchise. I would love to see another one, whether it be in 3D or not, but I would like to see another one. But I know that's not going to happen because whoever owns the IP, they're either not willing to sell it, or if they are, they want so much money for it that the publisher's probably like, man, to hell with you. It ain't worth that much money. But I would love for the reason why we're getting ukuleles is because Banjo-Kazooie is owned by Microsoft because they bought Rareware, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So they did the best thing they could by making ukulele, which is basically the spiritual successor. We all know this. But why can we not? If Microsoft is not going to use that IP, is it right for them to hold on to it? And I know they own it, but it's like, come on. I mean, there should be some type of legality, just like with Sony and the Spider-Man movie rights. If they didn't make a movie by a certain time, they had to give them back.
Yeah, you ain't doing nothing, then the hell with it.
It's like, so why are you holding on to franchises like Toe Jam and Earl, Earthworm Jim, and Fable? Like, why are you holding on to this, not making shit with it? You should be forced to give it to someone else.
So no one else.
Only if they paid.
You said what? What'd you say?
Shell.
Marco.
Shell, what happened to
Hello.
Marco?
What the hell, man?
Is that hoe?
No ho.
Yeah, you were gonna say something and you just kind of cut out there. What were you gonna say?
Oh, you mean regarding the whole ownership of IP thing?
Yeah.
Crap, I forgot where I was gonna go with this. Hold on, let me pause Final Fantasy Explorers.
No wonder.
I think you said because they want people to pay him, pay for the.
No. I know you. Oh, you caught that. You're right. I didn't quite say it like that, but yes, that's essentially what I said. As far as I know regarding this, and please feel to correct me because I don't remember completely. is it works a little bit different regarding video game IPs. You have to remember movie IPs and comic books and all those were established long before video games became a thing. So there's a lot of different precedents regarding video games and the IPs. In the case of Microsoft, I think they can hold it. I think they can renew it. They have the option to renew it or not. But
Exactly.
so they could let people have it, but that's only if they purposely let it expire or they sell it.
But
Kind of like what Nintendo did with Shadows of the Eternal.
But see,
Shadows.
again,
So what happens is this: you have to keep in mind these people are petty because they're not making anywhere near as much money as they'd like to. So the only way they're gonna let other people have access to it is if they make a good profit. If they do sell it, they're gonna sell it for a ridiculous amount of money.
Well, I understand that, but here's my thing: if this is the case, I think it should be some type of law, whatever, where it's like, okay, look, if the IP is yours, hey, you did use your money, you did buy it, you bought the rights to it, I get it, you don't have to share it. But it should be, let's say, for example, Banjo-Kazooie. Okay, Microsoft, you had this license for X amount of years. If you'd at least make some effort to make a game with this IP, which I know they can make a shitty mobile game if they wanted to, just to say they made one, just like some of those Spider-Man.
Yeah,
But it should
I'm totally with you. It should, but this is the reality. There's a lot of things that should be in place, but they aren't.
This is for IPs that weren't created by that.
Believe me, I'm totally on your side with this. But unless they sit down and like make some type of major amendment in the gaming, like in the gaming world, what I think, where is it established? I wish Lago was here for this.
When
you guys use Google?
I just wish like these old IPs would really and truly at least be allowed. Like, I'm not saying you have to sell it or give it away if you don't use it, but if you don't use it or don't want to put the money in and make a game to at least use it by a certain time frame, you should at least be forced to give the rights to someone else so that they use the IP. They may not be able to own it from, but they can at least use it.
But I think it's different. I think the rules are different for those who actually created the IP and those who, I guess, purchased it bought it. Yeah. So, I like I said, I don't know all this crap off the top of my head. So one of you guys might have to use Google, or maybe we could drag Lager into this cast another time.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. I agree with everything what you guys said, but here's the thing you have to realize: Microsoft is petty as fuck. Okay.
Yes, they are.
They're petty. I mean, remember that like Mass Effect 2 came out on the PS3, and Mass Effect 2 and 3 were on the PS3, but it took forever for Mass Effect 1 to come to the PS3. And the reason why is because Microsoft paid for that game to get made, or originally exclusively for the original Xbox, when they had BioWare under contract for them. So they held on to that shit for as long as they could to keep it from leaving, okay? And Microsoft is like that. Like they ain't doing shit with Banjo-Kazooie. They ain't doing shit with Conker or Perfect Dark. But they don't want anyone else to do shit with it, so they're gonna hold on to it till it sinks to the. They're like someone who's sinking in a ship, and they're holding on to a little baby, and they won't hand the baby over and let it live while they're sinking because they're that vindictive. That's Microsoft for you.
I mean, from what I can tell, and this, I'm not to all the viewers, I'm not saying this is the exact scenario, but this is what I think could be happening. Let's say Conquer. I'm pretty sure at some point, at least one or two people have been interested in making a Conquer game outside of Microsoft, and have probably said, "Hey, we really want to make a game based on this character. What would it take for that?" And Microsoft probably said, "Well, it'll be about $30 million. And the people are probably thinking, well, one, that's out of our budget, but two, we don't even really expect to make that kind of money off that game. We do want to make a game. We probably put all our effort into it, but, I mean, we're taking a huge risk by doing that, by paying that money, because you'll be paid even though we may not be." And I just think that probably contract terms are horrible as shit. They're probably completely unfair. And my thing is, Microsoft, you're not doing shit with it, but let's keep it real. You don't even need the money. Maybe your Xbox division does, but overall, you don't really need the money. But why don't you let someone make a great game with these IPs you own? and this goes for any
No.
company, not just one Microsoft owns, but let someone make
Okay.
a great game with these IPs.
Okay,
If they make
bro.
money, hey, you get a cut of the profits.
You know, that makes a lot of sense, but you know what?
See,
That
once
makes too much sense. Because they ain't going to do it.
I mean, there are a lot of franchises out there, a lot of IPs that I wish would come back from the 4th gen, the 5th gen, hell, even the 6th gen. I mean, shit. There are so many wonderful games just back from the 4th, 5th, and 6th gen where it's like, I mean, we wouldn't even need next gen consoles to be honest. If we took those games from back then, those IPs, and made sequels, prequels, or I won't, hell, even a decent remaster of it, we wouldn't even need a 9th gen coming anytime soon. We wouldn't.
Well, I mean, I have to agree with you. Like, I'm going to give you an example of how petty some of these companies are. Anyone here remember Lufia or Ogre Battle?
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, those are old school RPGs. Like, if you didn't want to put money into Final Fantasy Tactics, you could play Ogre Battle, which is more real time. Or if you didn't want to play whatever shit Squaresoft was putting out at the time, or Square Enix actually, you could play Lufia. Well, Square Enix didn't want to have any competition, so they bought up these IPs, and they've sat on them because they didn't want competition.
Well, actually, with Ogre Battle, they actually did a thing, but yeah, you're right.
They did one Ogre Battle game.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. They purposely made sure they were like, all right, I'm gonna own you, so you can't do nothing with it, so we could rule the market from here.
Basically, they pulled something similar to what EA did with the NFL. Not in the same vein, but they did it for the same reasons, to eliminate competition.
Yep.
And to me, I'm sorry, but
It's not right, but it's a legitimate business tactic.
And Mr. Red Fox, if I'm wrong, you can correct me because you are, you do own a couple of businesses, and I mean, I have my own personal business, but it's not like an official one.
Mm-hmm.
But if the
Say it out loud, I'm just gonna find you.
If the government can, basically decide whether or not they want T-Mobile and AT&T to merge, or allow AT&T to acquire them, or any other, big mergers out there that could really disrupt the market and make it one-sided. If the government can intervene with that, then why can't something, or even a smaller portion of it, do the same thing for gaming in a sense? Like, hey, you know what? You just buy, you trying to buy up all this shit. Like, why wouldn't they intervene? Be like, you know what, EA, we understand that you put in the bid to buy the NFL, the rights to it. But if you did that, there would be no one else able to come in and make an NFL game for competition. You basically be a monopoly on NFL video games, and that's not fair. No one stepped in to stop that or regulate that. And they right now they really do have a monopoly on the NFL license. Like, people can make a football game, but they can't use the actual NFL names of players and teams or whatever unless they pay for the rights. And that's why Midway released Blitz the League years ago, and they said they gave the finger to EA. They said, well, no, we'll make a football game. It won't have NFL, it won't have the characters, but we use their likenesses to give them cooler names.
Yeah, I mean, let's keep it real. It's a monopoly. It's kind of like how is it that Microsoft can make so much money? Because they have a monopoly. Okay, almost 90% of the PCs in the world that are used for business are running some form of a Windows OS.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's a monopoly. Okay. And I know there are people, well, Linux, yeah, okay.
Linux
let's not bring up Linux, with the recent PS3 moves, but keep it going.
Oh, boy.
People like to say, well, there's all these alternatives. Not really. Like half the stuff that people have to use, you either have to use Windows OS or something from Windows to open it. So either way, Microsoft has got you by the short and curlies. And I mean, it's a monopoly. It's the reason
they got the first dibs.
The reason why Nintendo basically, for so long, it's the reason why Nintendo makes so much money. Even when it seems like shit's down, they still make money because they have a monopoly. It's a virtual monopoly. Like, okay,
they have a monopoly on exclusive content, so you can't get Mario any other way but going through them. You want their IPs, you have to go through Nintendo.
Well, actually, it goes further than that. The physical media Like if you want to make a physical version of a 3DS game, you got to give Nintendo money because they own the technology to make the cartridges.
Yep. Like
you got to give them
back in the NES and SNES days, where people wanted to make a game, and this is why third parties grew to hate Nintendo because Nintendo would say, "Well, yeah, you can go ahead and put a game on our system, but you got to take all the risks. That means you got to pay us licensing fees to use our console. You have to also pay us for the cartridges. So if your game blows, we got our money, but if it makes money, we'll probably make it a little bit easier for you over time." But these parties had to actually buy the cartridges from Nintendo to put their games on,
which basically forces these third parties to actually work because they have no choice.
They had to make a quality game that people are going to buy, because other than that, they were sinking water the moment they said we want to make a game for the Super NES. It's like, okay, well, how many you think you're going to sell? Oh, about 30,000. Okay, with 30,000 cartridges, that's gonna run you about this. Wait, hold on. We gotta buy cartridges? You damn right. We're not gonna put our money at risk because we don't know if your idea is good or not.
And Nintendo seal of approval.
Yeah, I know some people. The seal of approval just meant that you bought their cartridges. But I mean, here's the thing. Here's what people don't understand. The monopoly is still going on. And not just with Nintendo. All of these companies have their own monopolies. Like Windows, like Microsoft, they're like, oh, you want to use the Xbox, you got to go through our system. Why do you think that Bethesda's like, oh, you want to use the mods, they're coming first to the Xbox? Because they got to use Microsoft shit first. I mean, Microsoft has been like this for years. Nintendo's been like this. Sony was like this. And I know some people are going to get mad and they're going to be like, oh, how could you say that? But that's just how it was. And, I mean, listen, I understand that people don't want to see this, don't want to hear this. People think that, people look at gaming as this innocent, hobby. But keep this in mind. These people are in business to make money, not to make you happy. If they make you happy, that's a happy consequence. It's not the goal of them. It's not their goal to make people happy. Their goal is
to keep selling the games and make a profit. That's all it is.
Well, I mean,
even the the beloved Nintendo. Granted, they aim for fun. They are still here to make money.
They're in there to make money.
So people need to get over themselves and look at the reality. I agree with you.
The only difference is that Nintendo it doesn't try to screw you over as badly as Microsoft or Sony in terms of how they make their money.
That's a hilarious concept.
Well, that's because their basic business model they don't have to screw you over as badly as Microsoft and Sony to make their money. But if Nintendo was doing as bad as Microsoft's Xbox division or Sony, yeah, they'd be doing the same shit too.
You know what boggles me? And I know this is common, and I'm probably just being naive, but if you give people good products and it's reasonably priced, your customer's going to always come back to you. You do not need to rape your customer to make a profit. Same thing with if you own a company. If you treat your employees well, they're more likely to work harder and get stuff done than if you try to shortchange them because they're going to hate the job. They don't want to be there. They're going to try to shortcut and leave as much as they can. It all comes down to you give what you get. You want to make great profits and do great things? Well, you got to do great things yourself.
That's
Sorry,
true.
I just had to get that off my chest.
No one's ever going to bring that up.
Oh well, I just wish that things were a little bit more open. And I'm not gonna say what most of these fanboys out there say, they're delusional. Say, you know what, it's to me, exclusives are stupid, they're not necessary. Yes, they are. Every business out there has something exclusive that they offer, whether it's an exclusive low price.
That's what draws the customers to them specifically. That's what's called exclusive.
That makes people that come to them instead of someone else. Because every time you go shopping, you're making a choice of where to go. I go to Best Buy for electronics because I love their warranty. You shop on Amazon because you love their service online and their selection. Plus, it's simple. So every business has something to draw you in. Whether you like it or not, it's something that's exclusive, or they do better than someone else. If you do it better, it's still exclusive because your way is superior. So when it comes to Nintendo and their content, yes, that's why they are always making money because exclusives matter. That's why people are still chasing exclusives. You can say that PC or porting games is better for business. Not really. It's not better for your business,
Yep.
especially. Just like you think Nintendo, people say Nintendo they can make so much more money if they make their games for their console and they port it on everybody. Say no, they would not
No, they don't.
because the thing is though, someone can offer Mario for a hell of a lot cheaper. It may not be a quality product, but some people flock to something based on price, others on hype. We all have a certain reason we like something. Like Shep, you even told me you mentioned plenty of times you bought Final Fantasy Tactics on almost every platform because you
Yep.
love that franchise. Period. Don't give a
That's
shit what it's
one of
on.
my favorite. Yep, agreed.
So to him, that was a draw. So Square Enix got his money in 5 or 6 different ways, and it's not a
Sad but
bad
true.
thing. But no one
Well,
else makes the Final Fantasy Tactics.
Well,
Well, this guy kind of sort of is
it
okay.
scratches that itch. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep it real. I like the Final Fantasy Tactics series. I really do. I don't own it across multiple things. I have Final Fantasy Tactics on the PS1. I have Final Fantasy Tactics Advance on the Game Boy Advance. I have A2 on the DS. And I mean, I like all of them. I like the entire trilogy. It's the second two games aren't as deep and sometimes disturbing as the first one. But all three games reward you for figuring out ways to break the game and create classes, like do weird stuff with the rules of the game that basically mess things up. Like, and I like that about the job systems in Final Fantasy Tactics. Is like, how can I break this game legally? Like, they give me the way to break the game and just destroy enemies. Steal super weapons from dudes who you're technically not supposed to be able to steal a weapon from. You know? It's like, man, I got 2 of these Omega Blades, and they do like 836 damage and boost all my other stats by a huge amount. And I got 2 of them, and I use a little
I love
special ability to get
Stealing and duplicating the Excalibur. Oh man,
And then, but
the Chaos Blades.
It's just that, as I was saying earlier, I wish it was better, and maybe one day it will be. Well, I'm not sure. I hope that's the case, but I know more than likely it probably won't get any better in terms of, what I would consider lost or dead IPs. Not dead in terms because they suck, but dead because people now own them, and they only own them for the sake of keeping someone else from benefiting from them and doing this bullshit. I mean, yeah, I think Konami. I mean, well, we know they gave it the Turtles license because now it's owned by Nickelodeon. But even still, it's like there are so many of them out there.
Contra.
If I can just get even just the classic games to appear on Virtual Console or Xbox Live Arcade or PSN, I'd be happy with that too. I'm pretty sure a lot of us right now would be like, you know what? If they had Turtles in Time on a Virtual Console or Xbox Live Arcade, we buy that shit right now.
Yep.
But it's not the case. And just like, Conqueror's Bad Fur Day, if we can actually get that on all 3, we probably scoop it up right now. But as you said, Microsoft is petty as hell, and they won't do it.
Yep.
The game could be selling like shit, and all they do is say, what's coming to Windows 10? Well, hold on. I don't want it on your bullshit. And to me, that's sad. It's like, okay, so Microsoft, you are a company that's about spreading your wealth and making people pay royalty fees for your operating system. All right. You don't think that if you put you put a Conquer across multiple platforms outside of Windows, you would make money? You would. But I understand Microsoft now has that Nintendo itch. No, it's ours. We ain't doing shit with it, but we won't let you have it either.
Yeah, but the difference between Nintendo and Microsoft is that Nintendo has ways to remind people of their franchises. Like, there's a whole generation of gamers that have never played an Earthbound game, know who Ness is. Never played an F-Zero game, know who Captain Falcon is. Like, there's franchises that Microsoft has, and no one's played them in years, but they don't give a shit. They ain't gonna do nothing with it. Except they might put them in Killer Instinct, because they're assholes, but aside from that...
Hold on, the cat for Killer Instinct confirmed.
What?
The Blinks the cat for Killer Instinct confirmed.
Oh,
You're
God.
kidding, right?
Are you freaking jesting?
I hope you're kidding, because if that's true,
He's
Yeah,
bullshit.
he's trolling. He's trolling.
No,
He's
because
so
He
trolling.
killed my
But
daddy,
look,
the reason
man.
why I say that is because I actually still own both those games for the original Xbox, and when they showed off General Crom, I was like, I said
this is some bullshit, man.
the only other Microsoft exclusive character I could think of they can put in this game that they haven't done anything for is Blinks the Time Cat. But the
Didn't they
problem
put-
is, but he's not a violent looking character,
Look,
so I
didn't they
can't see him
put-
fitting.
Didn't they put the Battletoad dude in that game?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's some bullshit, man. I mean, I like
but
Zips
to
and
me,
Rash.
To me,
but-
there's only one more Microsoft character they can put in this game that will fit, and that's pretty much Master Chief.
Yeah, but
That's it.
I mean, he'd only be able to use 2 weapons.
do it.
So.
Most likely
Don't
be
do it.
coming.
Yeah,
I'm
so,
sorry,
but thinking about the kind of game Killer Instinct is, Blinks wouldn't fit. He fit more in Smash Bros. Than he would in Killer Instinct. But a Killer Instinct
Yeah, he
character, the last thing they can put in there is Master Chief or someone like that. Hell, I would even say, well, they're doing it for Gears of War. They could probably add another Gears of War character, like one of the main characters you play as, but that's it. That's all they could do.
This is sad, man.
Yeah, I know it's sad, and like I said, I understand exclusivity. I get it. What I just don't like and don't understand is that, man, if don't buy shit just to hold on to it. Me personally, I understand that you maybe like most people maybe think, well, if you get it, keep what they can't use. But my thing is, if I'm not going to use it to turn profit, then I'll sell the shit for profit. Because if
But you're not a business, bro.
give it to someone else, because to me, it's like I'm not going to use it. I don't need to be holding on to shit if I'm not going to use it.
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Microsoft has exclusivity, but it's bullshit exclusivity. Because it's like, they're like, yeah, this game's exclusive, but it's also on Windows 10 PCs. I'm like, man, that's not exclusive. I mean, at least Sony has exclusive.
Well,
you want to play
no.
you can only play it on-
Let's clarify. What they don't say, they're not saying correctly, is it's exclusive to Microsoft, not Xbox. Exclusive to Microsoft.
Yeah,
it's all in the word. It's all in the wordplay.
That makes no sense. It's like someone saying, it's like this, okay? The only way you can get a Big Mac is if you go to McDonald's. That's it. That's the only way you can get a Big Mac. Yeah, I can go to my house and make two quarter-pound patties, toasted on a sesame seed bun with secret sauce, some shredded lettuce, some onion with seeds on it. I could do that myself. But it's still not a Big Mac.
True, very true. I mean, trust me, I get it. It's not really exclusive to the console anymore. It's just to Microsoft. But I give Nintendo credit for this. And the haters out there, you can believe what you want to, but Nintendo to me is the best at allowing me to play classic IPs. To me, the Virtual Console and eShop, they cannot be matched. I don't give a shit who you are. You can say you got Final Fantasy and other Square Enix products, whatever, and Konami old school on the PSN store or Xbox Live Arcade. But as far as going back generations, as far as variety, as far as classic sprites, you just cannot beat.
There's still some games missing on the eShop.
I mean, of course there's some games, but they give you more shit than Microsoft does. And Sony's still trying to charge like $20 for some of those old ass games.
Yeah, some of the games that's like on eShop is still Japan only for some reason.
That's some bullshit.
And it's mostly the third-party titles. It's like, really, guys?
Most
Like, all the SNES RPGs are on the Japanese Wii Virtual Console, but it's like only like 2 on here.
Right, let me ask you guys this. Did you expect you would be able to play Earthbound, when the 8 Gen started? Probably not. No one expected to play that game. And when they announced it, it was like, so you're gonna give us this game, you're gonna give it to us for 30 cents for the 30th anniversary?
Yeah, that was cool. I'm sorry. That was.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was, and I think Excitebike was part of that. What else was it? It was
Super
Earthbound,
Metroid.
Excitebike, it's Super Metroid. I think the first Donkey Kong,
and
it was some other game.
Damn.
Super Mario World, Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, 30 cents a piece.
I mean, okay, if you owned an SNES, they were like the 8 games. Well, like six of them were like the 8 games that if you had an SNES, you probably
better own
already
it, damn
had.
it.
You had to have it. It's like Super Mario World, Donkey Kong Country, Legend of Zelda, Super Metroid, some other titles, Earthbound.
Link to the Past?
You kind of taped it off there, but I got you.
When I say Legend of Zelda, I'm already, I mean, like, Link to. There's only one Legend of Zelda on the SNES. It's Link to the Past, unless you had the by satellite system, which they never released in America. So.
Yeah, I didn't even know about that. So.
Gotta be more specific.
No, I don't. When someone says Legend of Zelda on the SNES, there's only one game you're talking about.
Yeah,
well, if you're in America, yes.
If you're in America, and even in Japan, the by satellite system wasn't that well known, so they're like, oh, Zelda 3, okay. It's kind of like if someone says Mario 64. You don't need to elaborate which system it's on. You know which game that is. And the Mario.
Yeah, exactly. It came out on GameCube, duh.
Okay.
I'm messing with you. Continue.
I'm like, oh, okay.
I mean, but it just to me, I think the Virtual Console and eShop, if you are a retro gamer, if you do like the classic IPs, at least it's the best way to get your hands on some of them. Actually, a lot of them, in fact, not all, but a lot. I mean, when they offered even Sega and Neo Geo products, I was like, well, damn. Like, to me, that's something big. I mean,
that was awesome. That was really awesome. I was like, whoa.
You get Samurai Showdown 2 and 3, and World Heroes. I mean, shit. I'm sorry. The older Fatal Furies. I mean, honestly, be able to get those games. Hell, even Bunk from TurboGrafx 16.
Yep. I'm gonna keep it real.
Yeah, it helps out. Like, I prefer the physical, but sometimes that stuff is just over the top in pricing. So it's like, hey, I can just go ahead and get it for $7. Look at what's that game? Demon's Crest. That's like $150 for a cartridge. I just get it for $7 on eShop.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it absolutely real. Whatever the NX is, I hope Nintendo maintains a good virtual console, because that is something. I mean, that's a really good idea. It's so good that Microsoft tried to steal it with that bullshit half-ass backwards compatibility. Like, we've got backwards compatibility too. Sit your ass down.
But what I'm hoping they do,
and they better friggin' add the GameCube.
But
GameCube.
What I'm hoping they do with the next console is that they merge Virtual Console and eShop. I'm hoping they merge those two together, because don't get me wrong, I have no problem going to the Virtual Console on, in a Wii mode or whatever on the Wii, and using eShop on the 3DS and the Wii U.
But it's just more convenient.
It's more convenient they merge together, because Virtual Console, you really can find some really classic games you can't get your hands on anywhere else, unless you're going to spend a lot of damn money.
Yep.
You really can't. Like Super Mario RPG, getting that in a cartridge, you out of your damn mind. You wouldn't get that for cheaper than $100.
Yeah, it's like 15. Cheaper than 100, but it's close. Like 87 to 113.
I only spent like 40 to get my cartridge.
Well, when do you get it?
But that's
2000.
and if we.
Oh, okay.
You see, and then you also have to factor in. You might have gotten it from somebody that don't realize how really valuable that game is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got mine for like 15 at a
At a garage sale.
Well, no, it was Toys R Us, and when the N64 came out, and they were getting rid of their SNES shit, and they were like, you get 3, you spend $60, you get 3, and I got Super Mario RPG, Final Fight 3, and Illusion of Gaia.
Oh, all 3 good games. Well, Final Fight 3 is kind of, but yeah, good choices, man.
And that's what I was saying today to Sprite and Shep. I was like, you know what? The Wii U is going to be the second coming of the GameCube, where 2 or 3 years later, people are like, man, why didn't I buy this damn system? I say, I'm going to have a few spares sitting up in my closet. And when these Sony ponies come by, like, man, you know what? I'm looking for a Wii U. It's like, yeah, I got one, buddy, for $700. Man, this shit only cost $300 when it came out. Well, you didn't buy the shit, did you?
No, man, they wanted those features.
Like, so now you want these nice ass games. It's like, well, guess what? Zombie U, $150. And I'm gonna scoop up a few more like at least 1 or 2 more copies for like
Ubisoft game for that
bucks.
much. Yeah, right.
Dude, look at some of the games that came out on the GameCube right now. If you want to get Skies of Arcadia, at least a good $90 to $100 on the
Sonic
GameCube.
Adventure 2 is like $40 for some reason. I just got it, and I can just get it on Steam for like $5. Dude.
I'm telling you, like, GameCube games are still very expensive nowadays. You want to find them, and please, some of those Japanese-only Dreamcast games, $300-400.
Oh jeez.
Like, I'm gonna keep it real. I love my Dreamcast, and
I'm not
like,
paying for the games though.
I love my Dreamcast, but I'm gonna keep it real. It's been years now. I don't care. I have about 10, 11 Japanese Dreamcast games that the first time I played them, I just burned them. I'm sorry, it was too expensive. Now I've gotten like I've given Sega their money, but at the time, you know, I didn't have it. I'm sorry, I had to do what I had to do.
You thief!
You're part of the reason we went out of business, you bastard.
No. The reason they went out of business was because of the.
We could have had a Dreamcast too.
The
you
CD, the Saturn, Bernie Stoller, and trying to keep up with the Joneses. I don't think I had anything to do with that, because look, I spent, even on legitimate purchases for the Dreamcast, I spent, like, the Dreamcast itself, I got that when it came out, and I spent maybe, like, I had maybe 20 games for that system, including some of the games that, like, and these were legit purchases. These were the games that no one bought, like Seaman.
We have a break from Kenobi.
You didn't get the Echo game?
No, I did not.
Echo the Dolphin.
Did that game even come out? I thought that was a prototype.
Well, yeah. There was a couple of Echo the Dolphins that came out. There's 2, I think.
I'm sorry. I never really liked Echo the Dolphin. I'm sorry.
Don't feel bad. I never cared for what's that game? Vector Man 1 and 2. Didn't care.
Hey, Vector Man was nice.
Oh, the what?
I maybe literally because I played the first one, it just left a bad taste.
To all of you out there, as you can see, Andre, if you try to shit on his Sega titles,
I'm just thinking.
No, you think that's bad? We should have Jamie up in here.
Yeah.
Hold on for a second. Sprite, you like Mega Man, right?
Yeah.
Now, how the hell you don't like Vector Man?
Dude, the first game I just didn't understand, but then again I was like a 12-year-old kid, so.
Well, I'm gonna keep it real.
Try play it again.
I'm gonna keep it real.
I'll give it another try. Andre.
And guess what? You can buy the Mega Sonic Collection on
there you go.
360 on or PS3. I have it, and it has Vector Man 1 and 2.
Yeah, like Vector Man is not a bad game, but compared to what Sega made Vector Man to compete against, I'm sorry, I got to go with what they were trying to compete with.
Donkey Kong,
Vector Man.
Donkey Kong Country.
Donkey Kong Country.
I can understand that argument. I can understand that argument, but I'm just saying, it's not.
Yeah, it's not. I don't like Vector Man. I'm gonna keep it real. The first Vector Man, not as good as the sequel though. Vector Man 2 is a better game. The sequel has better graphics. It has better gameplay. The gameplay flows better. Like the first Vector Man.
I was really hoping that Sakurai would have put Vector Man in Smash Bros. Because to me, him and Samus squaring up would have been great.
No, man. You know who should have been in Smash Brothers? Earthworm Jim. Earthworm Jim would have been perfect in Smash Brothers.
Yes, he would.
That's the problem with us older gamers.
That's the character I actually voted for like a good 20 times when I had the ballot.
But this is the problem with us older gamers. We want all these damn platform characters to come back.
Not gonna happen.
Platformers is a dead genre outside of indie gaming.
Well, Shovel Knight and Mario have something to say about that because they're both platformers.
Well, Shovel Knight's considered indie. And Mario's infinite, so
Well, Legend of
you
Zelda,
can't stop
Still
him.
got,
Breath of
still
the
got
Wild, that's
Saturn.
technically a platform.
Well, hold on. Hold on. Before we end the podcast, I do have a question from Kenoshi. I think we touched on it earlier, but the question is: have you guys talked about the 550 million yet? I'm thinking he's referring to the PS3 lawsuit. I'm not sure.
I haven't read it.
Sounds about right.
I thought it was 50 million, but he said 550. I'm like, what the hell? Is it 500 or 50?
I think
It's like
Okay, 55 times 10 million.
Yeah, it's $55.
Damn.
Yeah, he said it right. 55 times 10 million.
Yeah, it's $55, but then you have to look at how many people potentially apply for it. So you're looking at $55 million if everyone goes with it. It's probably not going to be that much, but here's the thing. Certain people like to say Sony's fine.
Did someone?
Listen, Sony is still fine. You guys need to stop hating on Sony. Look, Sony is selling the most systems currently. I mean, look, the Vita is technically dead, right? But so why is more Vita games coming out? See, Sony's alive.
I tell you what is games for it because
the Vita is dead.
These people don't have the money to make a game.
But it's still
make a game for the PS4.
It's still making games though. The new engines for games for Vita.
Are they still making games for the PSP as well?
Yeah, third parties are still making games. Third parties are still making games for the Vita.
That's sad.
Sony ain't making shit for the Vita. Okay, I take that back. They're making a grave for the Vita. They're digging it in the backyard.
Ah, man. Well,
so Red, you're essentially saying Sony carried their life.
I'm sorry, you kind of
Goddamn Google. I said you're saying that Sony's burying their life.
I'm saying that they're trying to hide how badly. Here's the thing. Here's what people need to understand about Sony. Even if they did turn a profit and we're back to profitability, they have about $60 billion in debt hanging over their head. So even if they made $20-30 million in profit, it doesn't matter because they owe a lot of people a lot of money.
I get it. I mean, it's terrible, but I get it.
Sorry.
Hey, it is what it is.
I hurt you fans, you Sony fans' hearts, and here's the thing. I used to be a major Sony fan. Like my main console was my Nintendo console. My side console would be my Sony console. That's how it was for many years. But Sony, the bullshit is way too strong. It's been choking me out a little bit.
No, you're wrong. Ain't no mountain high and low.
Alright, we're gonna end it right there. That's bullshit right there. Say that for the BS busters.
Oh my god.
Well, we'll go ahead and
That's a beautiful outro right there.
Now, I don't want one of you bastards to pull that song up as we're closing out right now. Do not. And I got my eye on a couple of you that would do it.
I want some Starburst.
Now, hold on, Dr. Field. I just got one thing to say before this thing is over. And this is going to be a knock at you, but speaking about the NX, Francis was right.
Listen, guys.
Listen, what?
Okay, listen. You guys need to stop. The NX, like I said, the NX is going to be more powerful or equal to the PS4 Neo. But the PS4 Neo is going to still have more games, more third party, and more people on it.
Okay, here's a question.
Just to prove.
What the hell do we know about the PS4 Neo?
Nothing. About as much we know about the NX.
But we do more.
That's what confused me. The NX is going to be comparable to the PS4 Neo. Like, how the hell do you know that? We don't even know what the Neo is.
Well, Kimishima told him.
Well, technically, we know more about the PS4 Neo than the NX.
Yeah, we know the name of the Neo.
The PS4 Neo is going to actually be called the PS4 Neo.
Yeah, we know the name.
NX is a code name.
4K console.
We'll discuss this after the cast.
Yep.
But at least we're getting the information this year, this fall.
Well, go ahead and give your sign off, and you can go first. Game idea. Andre.
Translation, he's saying, Andre, get the hell off my channel right now.
What? I didn't hear you.
Go ahead and give your sign off and whatever content you want to promote.
I can't really promote the stuff because it's not on my channel yet, but I got some videos coming. I got like 6 videos I'm going to be dropping over the weekend.
Damn, this is like the second week in a row you've dropped like 6 videos.
Yeah, it's like, damn. He's motivated.
Between the 2 days of the weekend instead of all dropped on one.
This dude, you make more videos in 1 month than my entire channel has existed.
That time management, jeez.
That's because I'm impressed. A bunch of videos all at once and then start releasing them separately.
That's what I need to do. I need to sit down with you and take classes on how to run a YouTube channel.
And next up, we got Brownie.
Well, I didn't ask you guys. How do I sound? Do I sound like I'm stuffed? Like I'm?
You sound like you aged a couple of years, actually.
Sounds like you got a cold.
And the cookies coming through nice and clear too, so that's beautiful.
Okay, well, I'm sick, so I won't be doing anything for now. Most likely, after I get better, I'll give my impressions on Tokyo Mirage. And
well, you know, I'm sorry that you're sick. I hope you get better. But you know, the one thing that can help you get better, man, plenty of orange juice.
No,
you said it.
no,
you guys didn't.
Well, Kenobi wasn't here, so I thought someone should, pick up the slack. Go here, Red Fox.
Okay, this is Mr. Red Fox, and the only thing I have to say is, I've been listening to some R&B lately, and one of my favorite songs I've been listening to is a little song called Juicy Fruit. And it's pretty dang explicit. Not suitable for children.
Oh gosh. Go ahead, Sprite Remix.
All right. The only thing I'm promoting is I think I'm considering doing maybe like a Sonic retrospective since he's 25 today, so I want to see the ups and downs and the absolutely ugly.
Hold on, there was some ups. No, I'm kidding.
Hey man, the Genesis.
I know, I love Sonic, man.
There's people like
and that handheld
one,
not Game Gear.
And that one TV series they had a while back was really awesome. Not the Looney Tunes crap, the one after that.
The Saturday morning
joy.
Go.
Which is
No. Sonic, you can really move. Sonic has got an attitude.
Yeah, that was a jam. Saw the comics. Yeah, fuck Sonic X. I'm sorry.
I still haven't seen it.
You mean Sonic Underground? No, I'm joking.
Don't watch Sonic X. Actually, Sonic Underground is better than Sonic X.
Damn. That's hard.
That's a bull.
Well, you go next, Shep, and leave Sonic out of this.
Poor guy.
Okay. Damn, you said I can't use Sonic. Okay.
I say you can use Captain Falcon or Captain Commando or Sonic Blast Man.
Okay.
I'm fighting for freedom.
Well, that aside, there's going to be 3 videos. I don't know when I'll post it because I've been so freaking busy. But there's going to be 2 live talk videos. One is going to be with my wife, actually. That will be interesting. One will be an individual cast. And then I got my own talks regarding E3 as well as what's upcoming for the fall for gaming. So, okay. I just don't know when I'll post it, unfortunately. But it'll be within a week. That much I'll know.
Okay, then. Yeah, Triple M.
All right.
Yeah, subscribe to your channel.
Yeah, I was mostly quiet, but I don't have a YouTube channel. But I have been making posts on Google Plus, which it was a hard one for me. But I was just making playlists of Nintendo's Treehouse live of the first day, and pretty interesting stuff, and a few tidbits that we haven't seen on the Treehouse itself. But yeah, this is Triple M, and I'm out of here with an attitude.
And as always, I'm your host, Dr. Feelgood. Thank you all for tuning in. And as I always say, keep it gaming.
He's the fastest thing alive.
You're too early.
We are out of here, you bastards.